Let's talk about how we hold the ukulele. Yvette, I want you to show Erin how to hold the ukulele. So you do what Yvette's doing. You put it out like this, straight out, and you want it to be, so Erin, do this. Okay. Oh, sorry. Take your right hand,
Okay.
and grip it like this, right here.
Okay.
Right there. Okay.
Like
right
this.
there. Now you're
And
going
then
to take
pull out
it
like
out
that.
and
Okay.
put it out, and you want your arm to be parallel, not parallel, straight with the neck, and then you bring it back in. But now when you bring it back in, don't go down like that. You want to bring it back in and just go straight across yourself like that. Yeah, so take it back out again. And then bring it back in. That's how you want to hold it, okay? Now we are learning to hold it for standing up or sitting down. If you learn to play it where you have to have it like that, then you can only play sitting down. So that's why we're doing it this way, okay? It's great because if you're at a party or you're someplace you want to play and you can't sit, you'll be able to play no matter what this way, okay? Jarelli, I want you to go out again with yours, and let me have you bring it in. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, and this arm should just go across your ukulele like that. Okay, now when you strum, where do you want to strum on your ukulele? Do you want to strum over the sound hole, or do you want to strum up here? Yeah, up here, okay? On guitar, we strum over the sound hole. On ukulele, we strum up here, okay? At the top, right where the neck joins the body of the ukulele. That's where you're going to strum, okay? All right, now, when we strum, how do we strum? Jarelli, give me a strum. Oh, you're muted. Everybody can unmute for just a minute while we just go through all this stuff. Okay, now that I could hear each of your strings individually. I don't want to hear every string because it's a strum, so I want it to go like that. Do it again. Good, do it again. Good. And do you see how Jarelli's holding her hand like that and not like this? So when we strum down, you want it to be like you're doing like this. And then when you come up with your strum, like this. So it's a down, all fingernail, and an up, all skin. Down, fingernail, up, skin. Down, fingernail, up, skin. Okay, Yvette, show me yours. And remember, I don't want you to put your fingers together. Remember, I want you just your finger by itself. Have your fingers more like this so I can see just the one finger. Yeah, you want to have it be a little bit loose because later on you're going to do stuff with your other fingers, okay? So I want you to just have your finger loose. Yeah, there you go. Good. Okay, so Erin, are you understanding what we're saying here? So you want to have your fingernail and then your fingernail going back up. Now, remember though, you got to strum up here on the neck and not over the body. So bring your hand over.
Over
So
here.
go ahead and do this again. Go ahead and do that. And you're going to need to do this every day. I want you guys to do this every day when you pick up your uke. Okay, I want you to get in the habit of doing that until that's just so natural that you hold it that way. Now, do you see how where your hand is? Your hand is right over here right now. It's exactly in the right place to strum. So
Okay.
go ahead and give me a strum. Yeah. Do you see how nice that sounds? Mm-hmm. So that's the thing with ukulele. If you strum over here, over the sound hole, it sounds like that. If you strum up here, do you hear how much better that sounds? So this is where you want to always strum. And when you do this and bring it back, your hand is right there, right ready to strum right there. Okay. So go ahead and give me a down, up, down, up. Now, one thing you want to be careful about is you don't want to do it sideways like this. You want to make sure that it's really your finger nail on one side, and you just your inside of your finger on the other. So do you see how I have my hand like this, and then I actually turn it like this. And then now do that. Yeah, now bring it back up. Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay. All right. So now let's do our C chord. Okay. So Erin, now it's which finger, did you write down how to play the C chord?
Yes, with
Okay,
the
so
first
let's
finger.
hold up our fingers, everybody. Left hand, hold up your fingers. Bring that thumb in. Thumb in. Now wiggle finger number 1. Number 4. Now remember, our finger numbers are going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. The thumb doesn't count. So if you've learned piano, it's a different count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So wiggle finger number 4. Number 2. This one's number 2 and number 3. 3. It's kind of weird if you've learned piano. Doesn't, okay, so 3, your third finger is this finger, your ring finger. Okay, so play that C chord for me, Erin. Good. Yvette? Good. Girelli? Okay, great. Now, all of you played it exactly right, except that if you play it like this with your fingers down, then when you go to your next chord, you're going to have to move your whole hand. So let's do this. Remember we talked about this, about where you hold the ukulele with this hand? So I want you to put your hand like this, right there, right where this is. I want you to do that, okay? Now, I want you to have the back of your hand actually touch, you're gonna have to get a light, touch this first tuning knob right here, okay? So you want to actually touch that. Now what that does is it makes your elbow go out over here. And that's what we want. We want both elbows out, okay? So that you play like this, okay? There you go. Now when you play that C, keep these fingers up here so you're ready to go to your next chord. Now play that C chord. See the difference there? And now you're ready to go to the next chord, which is F. So let's play the F chord. Now the F chord is harder to play with your hand like this, but the next chord we learn is going to be a lot easier like this. So Erin, play me the F chord. Good. Yvette, play me the F chord. Do that again. Okay, now Yvette, what you're doing is you're making this finger flat and it's got to be up like that. Remember, we always want to play with a claw hand. So make sure to do that again. So you're still, okay, take your hand and go like this. Make it go towards your face. There you go. Now do it. There, you hear how much better that is? And the reason why is because when you were this way, this finger was touching this string by mistake, okay? And so that's why we really want to do that claw, okay? And we're going to talk in a second a little bit more about that. Okay, Girelli, play that for me. Again. I want you to do the same thing. Just bring your hand up just a little bit. There you go. Okay, great. All right, now what I want everybody to do is I'm going to show you an exercise you can do that's going to make it a lot easier to play these chords the right way, because you have to do the claw or you're going to touch other strings. So I'm going to show you on this box. You can do this on a box. You can do this on a table, on a book, anywhere you want. But I want you to take your left hand and put it on a flat surface, whether it's a table or a book. You can even turn over your ukulele and do it on the back of your ukulele if you need to. Well, you can't really with the black ukulele, so forget that idea, sorry. Do you have anything you can do it on? There you go. Okay. All right. Now, what I want you to do is you're going to lift this finger up, put it down, then this finger down, this finger down and that finger. Now you can't lift your other fingers. So you're just going to do this. Okay. You just go up, up, up. Now, Erin, be careful that you're not going out because you don't want to go out with your fingers. You got to go up, 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 up. Okay, same thing with you, Yvette. You see how you're going out? Yeah, you want to go up. Okay, good. Let me see it, Jarelli. Yeah, very nice. Be careful with that, with the third finger. This is the one that is really hard. This is the one that's going to want to go like that. And you got to go up with it. And just, it doesn't have to go up real far, just a little bit. Now, the only reason this is easy for me is because I had a piano teacher that made me do this 100 times every day. All right, so this is going to take a little bit. These are muscles that we don't use normally at all unless you play piano and ukulele or guitar. But what this is going to do is it's going to get your hand used to playing your ukulele like this. And that's how you want to hit your strings, is right there on the very, very tip of your finger. You don't want to be playing like that. Okay. So this is, so I want you to do this every day. You're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the great thing, and then you could even do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like that if you want. Okay. Now, the great thing about this exercise is that you can do it anywhere. You can do it at work. You can do it if you're bored in a meeting. You can do it while watching TV. Anything, okay? But I want you to do that so that you start getting used to using your fingers that way. And that's going to make a really big difference when you play. So now I'm going to show you another way to play F, okay? So when we've been playing F, you've been going 1, 2, right? To play it, to get your hands in place. Now what I want you to do instead of that is I want you to put both those fingers down at the same time. So I want you to go like that. So you put them both down at the same time. So instead of going 1, 2, you're going to just go like that. And that's going to make it much faster and easier to play your F chord. Okay, so go ahead and look at your fingers and it should sound like this when you do it. This is called hammering. You push those fingers down on those 2 notes. Make sure that you're doing it with the claw. Make sure you're not doing it with your flat fingers. And you hear that noise my ukulele's making? You should make a similar noise because you want to hit that hard. It's called hammering. So picture it as your fingers are hammering onto your ukulele. We'll do it slower. Okay, Erin, show me that. Good. It looks like your fingernails might be just a little bit long, Erin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you cut your nails, it'll be easier. Now my fingernails, they probably look kind of short, but they're actually too long. I need to cut my fingernails. Not this one. This one's fine. But these ones are kind of effective. You really have to have short fingernails because you don't want your fingernail to hit when you go down. See how right now my fingernail is hitting? You want your skin to hit. And that's why your fingernails really need to be short. Okay, Yvette, let's hear you do this. Okay, oh, you're not muted. You're unmute yourself, okay? Are you doing it? Because I can't hear anything. Take your fingers far enough away that it really makes a sound when you hit them. Okay, now, Yvette, you're playing kind of like this, and I really need you to be like this because it needs to be a hammer into your ukulele. Okay, there you go. There you go. Now I want you to do it slower so that it's controlled. Okay, you know, like lifting weights, it's got to be slow and controlled. So take your fingers way off. I want you to do it like this. down, hit, hit. Okay, great. Now you're doing this finger exactly right, but this finger's a little bit flat. So remember, you've got to get it up there, okay? But you're on totally the right track. Keep doing that. Okay, Jarelli. And Yvette, go ahead and mute yourself. Now remember, you want it to make the sound when you hit, not when you come away. So you want it to make the sound when you're hitting.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you can. You totally can. So just hit down hard, just like a hammer. Here, just do one at a time. Just do that top string. Everybody just do that top string by itself. This one, the top one that's closest to you. Just do that one first. See how easy that one is?
I can't do it as I hit it. It's only when I come off of it.
Are your nails short?
They're super short.
Okay, great. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it when you're hitting it too. It's going to make a little noise when it comes away, but you want it to be louder when you hit it. So you're getting it. You're getting it. Don't be frustrated. This is hard, okay? This stuff, this is like what I was talking about, is I'm going to be real strong on the basics because I want you guys to be able to just pick up and go and do whatever you want with uke, okay? Now, what this does is it means that when you play F, instead of doing, everybody look up here, instead of going 1, 2 every time you play F, you're just going to go, oh, F, boom, my fingers like that. And that's our goal, is to get to where both fingers land at the same time and you're just right there. Okay, I want you to get used to how that feels. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go C, F, C, F. Okay, so you ready? Here we go. We're going to start with C. We're going to go super slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Now move to F. F. Now move back to C. C. Now move to F. Now move back. F. Now move back to C. C. Now move back to F. F. Move back to C as soon as you're done. C. F. Okay, now Jarelli, you're holding your uke like this. Remember, I want, there you go. Now this, what doing this does is first of all, Aaron, you too, is it opens you up, okay? Get that elbow out, and it should do that because you have this, okay? Okay, you can't lean on a pillow or anything else, okay? You gotta have your arms, you can't play like in a recliner chair or anything like that either. So there you go. All right, and when you have it right, it should be pretty comfortable. It shouldn't be that you're having to think about getting that elbow up. It should be just pretty comfortable. Okay, so here we go. Let's do this again. 1, 2. Oh, Jarelli, go ahead and do this again. Get that exactly right. Okay, and then get this exact, there you go. Okay, so here we go. Get that C. Now, okay, now look, I'm going to tell you.
Enormously long arms, so it's
You
really
do.
hard for me.
You know what, Jarelli? What, you have such fantastic arms, and that ukulele is a soprano ukulele, which is the smallest one. And what's great about your arms is that a lot of us have trouble when we go to a bigger ukulele, and you're not going to have trouble at all. Let me show you.
I mean, I'm used to the guitar, so it's like,
You do play guitar?
I'm not great at it, but yes, I've tried to learn on it.
Yeah, so probably it seems much more comfortable in your arms. And so long arms is nothing to feel bad about. Long arms and long fingers, that makes you a great musician. So that's a great thing. But let me just show you the difference in these ukuleles so you can get an idea of what's out there. So this is the ukulele that you have, the soprano, okay? This one is the concert. This is my favorite size, is the concert. I never played a concert until this year, and now I'm in love with it. See how much bigger it is? in the, can you tell with my black shirt on? Okay. Now we also have the tenor, which is even bigger than the soprano. Okay. And not only are they bigger in the body, but the necks are longer too, which is really nice. Now I want you to look at the tenor compared to the soprano. See how much bigger that is? Yeah. Okay, so I think that if you like ukulele, you're going to want to invest in a ukulele. And I suggest that you go to a music store and try them if you can, and see. But I think you're going to like either the concert or even the tenor. And having long arms might make it a little bit weird at first, but you're going to so love it. It's going to be so great. Okay. Most people really have to struggle. And even when I play my tenor, I have short arms and short fingers, which is hard for a professional musician. So see, when I go out and do this with my tenor and then I come back in, look where my fingers are. They're like barely there. And so you're not going to have that problem. So it's great. It's great. Unless you fall in love with soprano ukulele, in which case you're going to be fine anyway. So sometimes people that are playing ukulele in my classes, they'll say, oh, my fingers are too big to play. But I want you to think about the amazing Hawaiian ukulele player who did that great Somewhere Over the Rainbow. His fingers were like that. Okay. He's this huge, tall Hawaiian guy. And he played on this little teeny tiny soprano ukulele. So you can do it. All right. It's just going to be weird for you at first. And I want you to not let yourself do this. Don't let yourself do that. Make yourself do this. And the great thing about your long arms is that you can do this without any problem. Some people actually have trouble with that. You're not going to have that problem. So just make sure that you have this touching that and play it like that. And then play your F like this. Okay. And you're going to be fine. So everybody do this. Get in the right position with your hand over here, your elbow out. Okay. Now I want you to play that C chord. And when you play C, I want both of your other fingers to just be up here. Okay. I don't want them to be down here. So play that C. Okay. Erin, I want you to get your arm over here so that it's touching that tuning peg. There. That's how I want it. Okay. Like that. Okay. Yvette, get your arm over so that you're touching this tuning peg with your hand. And the nice thing about that is you can tell right away if you're doing it right. Because if your hand's not touching the tuning peg, Erin, then it means you're not doing it right. So get your hand over there, touch that tuning peg with the back of your hand. Now, the other thing is you don't want your thumb way up here. Okay. Get your thumb down a little bit. You shouldn't be able to see it from the other side unless you have super long fingers. So put your thumb down about like that. Okay. And a lot of uke players play with their thumb showing. And over the holidays, I did some research. And once you get into the advanced stuff, it's really hard to do it with your thumb up. So go ahead and get used to playing with your thumb down now. You can do your thumb in a couple different ways. Sorry, I'm like teaching on this antique chair and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so you can have your thumb like that, or you can have your thumb like that, angled like that, which I actually find much easier. Okay, just angled on the back there. So now doing that with your hand in the right position, it should actually be much easier to do this. So play your C chord, and I want to see these two fingers up here. So C and V. Okay, I want to see your V's up here. Imagine you're in England and you're flipping everybody off. That's what you're doing here. So you got C chord and these two fingers up. Okay. Now I want you to go to your F chord. Don't move your hand at all. Just move your fingers. That's all. And go to your F chord. Good. This is so nice that we have such a small class today. So now go back to your C chord and don't move your hand at all. And then go like this. Now, Jirelli, can you? Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit better. Okay, there you go. So C, play me your C. And Erin, get that elbow back out there. Sorry, you're going to wish you were in a bigger class today. And then that F. And you don't want to move this hand at all. Okay. You don't want to move this hand at all. While we're doing these home position chords, you want to keep this hand exactly where it is and you just move your fingers. Okay, so now we're going to go back and forth between the C and the F again and try to keep your hand in the same place. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, move to the F. F, move to the C. C, move to the F. F, move back to the C. C, move back to the F. F. We're going to go a little faster. C. F. C. And you want to move as soon as you play the chord. So don't wait until I say the new chord. So as soon as you play C, get ready for F. As soon as you play F, get ready for C. Okay, so let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. F. C. F. C. F. Okay, so do you understand what we're doing there? Looks really good to me. Okay, now we're going to learn a new chord. Here we go. I want you to write this down. Go ahead and draw the little chord chart. And then you're going to copy this. This chord is called G7. Great. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. Okay, so now go ahead and try to play it. Once you've got it written, go ahead and try to play it. So finger number 1 is just like F, same place as F. But now 2 and 3 are both going to have to go inside the second fret. Now this is where you really see the advantage of having your hand like this and not like this. Look at me for a second. If you try playing the G7 chord like this, look what happens when I try to get both those fingers inside that same fret. They don't fit. But if I do this, they totally fit. Does everybody understand what I just showed you there? So now this is your G7. Let's see, Yvette. Yeah, Yvette, move down 1 string. You're playing your top string. Move down to the 2nd string. That one. And then with your other 2 fingers, not the top. There you go. There you go. All right. And both of these fingers are inside the same fret. And that's another reason why you want your hand to be at that angle, right? That angle is what's going to make it work. Okay, Aaron, play that chord for me. Okay, great. Yvette? And probably if you have a dead string, it's probably this one. Remember how hard this one is, right? So you probably just need to press a little harder. And that's another good thing about bringing your thumb down, okay? Because when you need to press harder, sometimes it's really hard to press with your fingers. Press with your thumb. But if your thumb's way up here, then pressing hard with your thumb isn't going to help. If your thumb's down here, pressing harder with your thumb is what gets that sound for you. Great. Very good. Very good. Jarelli? Great. Great. Okay, now, whenever we're learning a new chord, and for a while afterwards, this is how you tell how well you're doing on your chord, is that you play each of your strings by themselves, and you want each one to sound like a harp. So we're going to play that G7, and we're going to do each string, and you're going to do it with your thumb. So hold your uke like this, because we're going to do this a lot. Now, okay, you're going to just hold your uke right here, and you're going to take your thumb and just go. And I want you to go just as slow as I'm going. Don't go any faster. And you listen. And if one of your strings sounds bad, like that, if it sounds dead like that, that means you probably need to just press harder. If you get a buzz, it might be that you're touching one of the fret bars. Remember, we don't touch the fret bars. Okay, so let's hear you each play the G7 like this. Erin, let's have you go first. Pretty good. Get this one a little bit better. Do that one more time. Great, great. Yvette? And this again, this is going to be your tough one. This is going to be the one that's going to not be nice to you. And that's because it's so hard to push down. Okay. So just push, get your thumb down, Yvette, and now push harder with your thumb. And I bet you'll do better. Good. That was a lot better, right? Okay. And I want you to play all 4 strings, even though you don't have anything on the first one. Okay. And it should sound just like a harp. Each of your strings should ring just like a harp. Good. Okay, Jarelli. Now, Jarelli, remember, I don't want you to do this. Yeah. Go a little slower. Great, 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 great. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the C chord and the F chord. So we're going to do this. C. Then we're going to do F. And then we're going to do G7. Actually, I don't want to even take class time to do that, but I want you to do that when you practice. Okay. So I want you to do that every single day. And you want to really take, and I'm going to write out your homework for you. I'll put it in the Facebook group. So, but I want you to really listen. Okay. When you do that, don't go fast. Don't do like that. Do it really slow. And this is where you're listening to make sure that you're not touching the wrong string. If you're doing F and you get a dead string, it means that you're not doing this. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do one more hammer. Okay. When you play F, you want to do both of them down at the same time. When you do G7, you want to do this finger down, and then these two you want to hammer at the same time. So put this finger down for the G7, put just this finger by itself. Now I want you to hammer these two like that. Okay. Now, Yvette, be careful. You keep doing this top string. It's the second string from the top. Okay. And you remember, you really want to make sure that your fingers are bent, that they're not straight as you do this. Okay. And I want you to go slow, just like lifting weights. You want to go slow. Okay. So Erin, let me hear you do this. Great. Now, Erin, pretty soon we're going to have the D chord. Now, the D chord is where you have all 3 fingers inside one fret. Now, right now, you're getting away with the G7 without having your hand over. But when we get to D, you're going to have to start doing this. So I really recommend that you start learning to have your hand like this, because it's going to be a lot easier than having to learn it later. I promise you're going to have to learn it later if you don't learn it now. So just
having your hand like this, like kind of behind, like you were saying.
No, it's not really that it's behind. It's that you want it touching that peg, because it forces your elbow up. Okay. And if you do that where it's touching this tuning peg, you don't have to think about your elbow going up. It just brings you out. You see, and this is another thing. Do you see how much of my hand is up in front of the uke? Mm-hmm. That's how you want it to be. You want to have all these fingers have all this room. Yeah, exactly like that. See how much difference that makes? That gives you all this room to play all different kinds of strings up there. That's exactly how I want you to do it. So I don't know how to remind yourself, but that's going to make playing so much easier for you. I promise. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Yvette, let's hear you do that hammer. Okay. I want you to hit harder when you go down. Okay, great. And Jarelli?
Sorry, was it for G7 or what are we
Yes,
hammering?
it's G7. So you have this finger down already, and you're just doing your second and third fingers down. That's all. So keep your first finger on that string. It doesn't lift off.
Oh, this one. Okay.
And then it's just your second and third fingers that you're hammering down with.
You're not listening to me.
So, and again, you can practice this while you're watching TV, anything, because you just want to get used to those fingers going down together. And the reason for doing this is because it makes it a lot easier. When you're going to G7, you don't want to have to go 1, 2, 3. You want to just go 1, 2, and you got your G7. Okay. All right. One last thing, and then we'll quit. Now, every once in a while, ukulele gives us a present, and this is one of the presents. When you go G7 to C, this is how you do it. You play G7. Everybody play a G7. Charlie, get your hand in the right place. There you go. G7. Sorry, G7. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to lift these two fingers, and you're just going to slide this finger over. And that's C. Isn't that awesome? That's a ukulele present. So let's do that again. So we're going to go G7, oops, G7, and then you lift these two and slide over to C. So here we go again. G7, C. Okay. Now, it's not quite the same going C to back to G7. From C, then you got to pick up your fingers and go, you know what, let's not even, do you want to do that this week or do you want to wait till next week for that? So, okay, we can do it. So C, and then you're going to lift and you're going to go 1, 2 for your G7. So you're going to go C, and then you're going to go 1, 2 using that hammer technique. 1, 2 for your G7. So C, and then 1, 2 for your G7. C, G7, and then just slide back to our C, C, G7, slide back to your C. Jarelli, get that arm up. You're making it weight. You're what's going to happen is you're going to get sore, and I want you to get sore. So this is, you should feel like it's kind of open when you're doing it this way. Okay, so let's do that again. G7, C, and then pick up and go back to G7, G7, C, and then G7, C. Okay, now, Aaron and Jarelli, you two both have got to really work on that hand position to really, it's because if you don't get it now, you have to do it later and it's so much harder to relearn it. Okay, Yvette, what I want you to make sure you're working on is get that thumb so it's down. Okay, that thumb, you don't want up here because it doesn't help you when it's up here. It helps you when it's down here because it gives you more power. All right, and you want to be able to reach around. If I have my thumb up here, it really limits what my fingers can do. If I have my thumb down here, all of a sudden I've got my whole hand. Everybody understand that? So you really want your thumb down. Okay, so you got your new chord G7, your 5-finger exercise, and then I want you to play each chord slow, right? And listen to it. Then I want you to do the hammer on the F, the hammer on the G7. And remember, the hammer on the G7, you leave that finger down and it's just that. That's all you're doing. You're hammering fingers 2 and 3. Okay. And then I want you to do C to F. And the goal is to make it even. Okay. You don't want it to sound like this. You don't want to do that. You want it to be totally even. Do you understand the difference? So even means that it takes just as long to go from C to F as it does to go from F to C. You don't want one way to be faster than the other, okay? Exactly the same. And then I want you to do G7 to C. G7 to C. Okay, now Jarelli, I really want you to work and just play around with it. Fine, it might be that for you, it's more comfortable to have this hit this part of your arm, okay? Find the place where it's comfortable for you, all right? But not this, because this it's gonna hurt. You're not gonna enjoy playing, okay? So you guys did awesome today. We got tons done. Practice every single day. Don't wait and practice, put in all your time the day before. It won't do you any good, okay? We're building up calluses and we're building up kind of different muscle movements than we're used to making. All right, so any questions? I will post the homework in the Facebook Messenger group, and then I'll post the link to the new class every day right before the class. So if right before the class, you just go to the Facebook Messenger group, it'll have that there, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for everything.
I haven't been added to the Facebook group.
That's because you're not gonna be in this class. So let's see, you should
So
be
once
you're gonna be
figure-
in the Tuesday class, right?
I'm trying to. There's just a couple of shifts that I'm still scheduled for on Tuesday, so it's
I can put you in both groups if you'd like. Do you think you'll be coming Tuesday and Wednesday?
yeah. It looks like for the most part, I'll be coming Tuesdays, but there's a couple Wednesdays.
Great. So let me just add you to both of those right now.
Okay, perfect.
And Liz, I was scheduled to do a BLS class next Wednesday. Is it okay if I do the Saturday class again next week?
Absolutely. It's never a problem to switch classes. It's just best to stay in the class you're in because they kind of go at different speeds. But yeah, most important is to come to a class every week. So just always, if you don't have the link to the other class, just send me a message and then, and you can send it through the group or however you want to.
Okay.
But usually you'll be in this class, right?
Yeah, other than next week, I think always be in this one. Yeah.
Okay, great. And so let's see. Let's see. So really, it's weird how it shows your GER pin, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you're in the Tuesday class and I'm going to put you in the Wednesday class too. There's a bunch of GER pins.
Are there?
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Like my name, it's so unusual. And yet there are other Liz Shropshires on Facebook. Used to be there weren't. Used to be I could say Liz Shropshire, I'm the only one. So now you're in the Tuesday and the Wednesday group.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And Erin, you have the link for the Saturday class. But if you have any problems with it, just call me that day and I'll make sure you get in it or send me a text. Okay.
Okay. Sounds
All
good.
right, you guys have a wonderful week. I think you're going to love it. You guys all are going to be able to get really good if you want to. Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.